Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Hi, welcome to our SARCAST, what you should know about mentorship. My name is Chloe, and I'm one of the peer consultants for this year. There is just a smaller group, so treat this as a one-on-one session if you may, and ask any questions as they come. I'm happy to answer, but just to get us started, I'm going to start with a few definitions. And so just in defining mentorship, so that would be the guidance provided by a mentor, especially an experienced person in a company or educational institution. And a quote that I have here is to support and encourage people to manage their own learning in order that they may maximize their potential, develop their skills, improve their performance, and become the person that they want to be. And so going on from just defining mentorship and understanding what that kind of looks like, we're going to be talking about the different types of mentorship. So mentorship comes in all different shapes and forms, and you can have multiple mentors. You don't have to just have one. And so here are some of the common types of mentors you might run into. So we have the traditional mentor, which is typically someone who is older or more experienced in a particular field, in particular niche skill set that you look up to and you want to receive mentoring from. A reverse mentor, this one's going to be someone who might be younger, someone who might have a little bit less experience than you. And this is just a typical, or this relationship looks like when you're mentoring someone, you actually get mentored as well. So you get more experience by mentoring someone. And so that's where the name reverse mentor comes from. We have peer mentor. And so this one is, as it says, these are typically the people that you work alongside with, have the same skill sets, share the same routine in your work. So your coworkers and your colleagues, and these are people that you just learn side by side from. We have aspirational mentor next, which would actually be someone that you look up to and you want to be. And so for these mentors, sometimes they won't be people that you'll meet. They'll be people that you see on social media, maybe read an autobiography about, and you learn from them through written words or visual aspects, and you want to strive to embody some aspect of them. And so aspirational mentors, you don't have to meet them, but you may feel mentored through seeing works that they have put out. Practical mentors are those who help you find solutions. And so these are the people that you would typically go to if a problem arises and you want to figure out the best solution for that particular problem. These are going to be the more logistical and practical advice giving mentors. We have a coping mentor who will help you through hardships. And so these are the people who will advise you emotionally, mentally, through whatever hardships that might come your way, in whatever domain or realm that may be in. And then next we have identity mentor. And so these are the people that you meet when you join certain groups, and you want to not only learn more about the group that you're in or the community you're in, but also you want to learn more about how you play into that community and learn more about yourself. And so mentors in diversity groups, LGBTQ plus groups, and etc. First generation groups. Yeah, and so these are just some of the types of mentorship that you might run into, just not only in your undergraduate career, but also throughout life in general. And when we're thinking about mentorship, we want to ask ourselves 3 questions. And that's just to help us identify the right type of mentor for ourselves and what we might currently need at this current point in time. And so the 3 questions that you would want to ask are: 1, what are my current life, career, or organizational goals? 2, what skills or experience gaps do I have that are keeping me from achieving those goals? And 3, what type of mentor will help me achieve those goals or close those gaps? And so in the previous slide, we saw the different types of mentors, and I briefly explained how these types of mentors might contribute to different aspects of your life and how these mentors might help in different ways. And asking these questions on this slide over here might help you identify exactly which type of mentor fits best for your current needs right now, and what might help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve at this current point in time. And so these are some of the questions that I asked myself, and they're pretty great in terms of just helping you identify. And I hope that maybe in the next time that you're looking for a mentor, you'll also keep this in mind as well. And going on from that, I want to talk about areas where you might need a mentor. And so some of the typical areas that we're looking at right now are college. So in your undergraduate career, especially as an underclassman, you might want to learn more about navigating the college hemisphere and learning about the different organizations on campus, where to go on campus to study, all those little things that you typically might need when you're entering a place that's unfamiliar to yourself. And so in college, that is a very big place to find a mentor and really be able to navigate the rest of your years in college. I myself have gained a lot of mentors throughout my college career, and that's been something that's been super helpful to me, just in terms of navigating what to do with my major, how to approach obtaining my minor, and even getting advice for some of the classes that I want to take in order to head or help me gain the skills and knowledge that I need to gain for my future career and also my major as well. And so the second one that I wanted to talk about is niche. So niche, what that really means is you're looking for a mentor that will help you improve a particular skill set or a particular area of your life. And so maybe you're looking for a mentor who will help you with event planning, or a mentor who will help you learn about the basics of coding. And so for me, something that I had to gain a mentor for, or I had to look for a mentor for, was actually Excel. That was something that I was very unfamiliar with, and I wanted someone who would be able to teach me firsthand how to navigate a platform that I was foreign to. So that's kind of one of the instances where you might look for a niche, or in a niche setting where you might look for a mentor. And last but not least, we have career. And so something that I was always told going into college, and or not even in college, but my first year of college and also going into my career, was how important it is to have a mentor in your career field, or not only just your career field, but helping you navigate your career in general. And so the reason being is that having a mentor who has gone through the experiences that you are currently trying to go through helps you in navigating, and not only navigating, but processing what you might have to walk yourself through. So for example, submitting applications, rewriting your resumes, having someone there to mock interview you, and really just having someone there to talk through what your career options are and what options might be out there for you. And along with having a mentor in that realm, you might learn some new things and gain some new connections as well. And it's just a great opportunity just to be able to learn from someone who is more experienced, maybe older. Yeah. And then moving on from areas where you might need a mentor, we're going to go into the qualities of an effective mentoring relationship. And so something important to keep in mind is that when you're looking for a mentor, you want to make sure that the mentor relationship not only works for them, but also works for yourself. And so the way to kind of identify whether or not a mentor relationship is working is to kind of look for whether or not it's reciprocated between both parties. Are you actively reaching out to your mentor? And is your mentor actively reaching out to you as well? Are you both contributing to the conversation and making sure that you are meeting each other halfway? And so that also goes into the mutual respect aspect of it. Are you respecting each other's time? Are you respecting each other's expectations and boundaries for your mentor relationship? And again, that goes into our next bullet point, which is clear expectations of the relationship. And something important to remember when talking about mentoring is that it's okay to set boundaries and expectations. That's exactly what a mentor relationship is there for. So in the beginning of finding a mentor and maybe asking them to be your mentor, you want to also make sure to set those expectations and boundaries. So that might look like how often are we going to stay in contact? What are the realms that we will be able to talk about within our mentor relationship? In career, it might be, would I be able to ask for a referral in the future as our relationship develops? And then some more aspects of an effective mentoring relationship will be your personal connection with them, whether or not you have shared values, which is going to be really important as you strive to mentor, as your mentor strives to mentor you, and as you strive to learn from them. A sense of altruism, and then of course active listening to one another, so taking in what they're willing to give you and also them taking in what they might need to help you or advise you on. All right, and then moving on from that. So one of the biggest questions is where to look for a mentor. So I know this is a question that I had to ask multiple people. And really this is going to change depending on the person. There are many places to find a mentor, and it also depends on what you're looking for as well. So here are some of the typical places that we like looking at. So Anteater Network is going to be an alumni network for Anteaters graduating well before 2022 and future graduates as well. So Anteater Network is full of alumni who have signed up to help incoming graduates or current undergraduates in their search for mentoring opportunities or just to ask questions about future career goals, postgraduate goals. LinkedIn, of course, we all know about, a very big social media platform for professional uses. And so with LinkedIn, you can often reach out to people who are working in a profession that you're interested in going in, or even working in an industry that you're interested in going in. And so LinkedIn is going to be very helpful for being able to cold message and cold email people that are outside of the network that you're already in. So for example, the alumni network with UC Irvine. And lastly, we have campus involvement. So look for mentorship programs such as the Anteater Mentorship Program or AMP. There are many mentorship opportunities on campus, and it also depends on where you might be looking. So if you're looking for a particular profession, for example, business or even in the social sciences, there's so many opportunities on campus as long as you are able to kind of narrow down which places you want to look at. But the one place that I would recommend looking is in campus groups. So you're able to kind of filter out the different opportunities that are out there and look for the different organizations as well. And on the topic of where to look, I want to also touch upon that you might not be expecting, or like sometimes the places that your mentors come up will be places that you're not expecting, and they might be right in front of you. They might be your supervisor at work or a peer that you've been looking up to in an organization that you're a part of. Mentors come again in all different forms and types as well. And so maybe you already have a mentor in a commitment that you're in or in an organization that you're in. And now it's only a matter of establishing that formal relationship with them and maybe asking, hey, would I be able to reach out to you in the future about this topic? Or would I be able to talk to you about this when I do need the help? Or could we work on this together? Just being able to ask questions like that and being able to ask or set a formal request almost. You might be surprised where you might find a mentor in that aspect. And then moving on from where to look, we have templates for cold messaging and emails. And so this is something that we wanted to include because this is a really big starting point for multiple people or people who are looking for mentors, who might not know where to start and might be asking to reach out for the first time. And so to really quickly define what cold messaging plus cold emails is, they're introductory emails that you send to someone that you don't know to create a connection for business or networking opportunities. And so typically this might be used on LinkedIn or even through email. If you happen to find an individual's email that you're very interested in having a conversation with. Yeah, and so I wanted to go straight into some of the templates that we have. And so LinkedIn, really quickly, LinkedIn has LinkedIn Premium where you're able to send InMail. And so with InMail, you're able to reach out to people that you aren't connected with, and you are able to send messages that might mimic the size of an email. Sorry, I see something popping up in the chat. Yes, I have a question. Are these templates available for later access? Yes, they will be. We will be sending out an email following up on the event as well. But to quickly go back to what I was saying, so InMail allows you to send out messages that are going to be longer, maybe mimicking the way you would send an email. But typically, if you do not have LinkedIn Premium, you are not allowed to send, or you don't have access to send out InMail. And as a result, there's a character limit. And so when it comes to character limits in LinkedIn, you want to be able to send short and concise messages that introduces yourself, gets straight to the point, and really, this is about being able to put yourself out there and tell the person that you're reaching out to exactly what you are reaching out for, and also being able to respect their time and not waste their time in opening one of maybe many messages that they might have in their inbox. And so the two templates that I have here, so I'm going to go ahead and read them. We have, hi, insert name, hope all is well. I noticed that you are doing insert position at the name of the company as a year at UC Irvine, trying to find the right industry for me. I would love to learn from your experience and expertise. If you have a couple of minutes here, if you have a couple of minutes via Zoom or on here, thank you. And so really, you can kind of see that it's structured so that you introduce yourself, tell them why you're interested in having a conversation with them, and also offering them the opportunity to take a conversation with you through multiple platforms. So whether that be via Zoom or via LinkedIn. So I've used this template myself, and I've actually gotten really great results. And this is just something that I was able to learn from not only researching online, but also having mentors help me out with crafting the perfect message. And this is something, or a best practice that has worked for me and has gotten some responses. Don't worry if you don't get responses, just keep sending. Oftentimes these people will have multiple messages in their inbox, but I promise that if you do keep going at it, you will find the right person, and you will find someone who will also reach out back to you. So moving on from that, so this is something that I typically use for when I'm reaching out to an alumni. And so it's going to be, hi, insert name, hope all is well. I noticed that you're an alum of UCI and are doing insert position at the name of the company, and would love to learn from your experience and expertise in insert position. If you have a couple of minutes via Zoom or on here. So it's kind of similar to the last template that we had, but it's a little bit more catered towards having reaching out to an alumni. And so that's something that you also want to look out for as well. If you're reaching out to a particular position or with someone that is in a familiar network, you want to make sure that you kind of tailor your message a little bit, just so that it seems a little bit more customized and personal, and it's not just a simple copy and paste. Yeah. And so those are the LinkedIn templates that I wanted to share. And of course, they will be shared after this webinar as well. So moving on from that, we have email templates. And so email templates are typically going to be used when you have actually obtained the email of the individual that you want to reach out to. So these are going to be a little bit longer, and you're going to be allowed to share a little bit more about yourself and also have a little bit more time to convince them almost to open up your message. And so the template that I have here is Dear Name. My name is, and I found your information on. I'm currently seeking an opportunity to sharpen my skills and gain experience in blank skill and blank skill. As of right now, I work for wherever, or here you might be able to put that you are a current undergraduate student at UCI, insert your year and your major, but I'm very interested in applying for the open position of blank at your company, and I think I could offer this organization blank value. I'd love the opportunity to discuss the opportunity over phone, coffee, email, etc. And I'm available blank. And so something that you want to do is you can go about this two ways. You can either offer your availability for the upcoming weeks, or you can ask them first for their availability. And then when they respond, you can provide your availability. Something that I like to do, and it's just a personal preference, is to actually ask them for their availability first, just because I'm the one reaching out and I want to be respectful of their time, and also of just be respectful of their time, letting them give me, or having the chance to give me when they're most available. So obviously ended off with something sweet, something nice. And so what we have here is, please let me know if you're available to discuss the position further. I'm willing to work around your schedule. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, insert your name. So I have the link down there where I grabbed this template from, and it's going to be from Indeed. Highly recommend Indeed for searching up any other templates that you might be interested in using. So if you happen to want any more templates on emails or any more templates on LinkedIn, I would highly recommend using Indeed as well. Yeah, and I think that pretty much wraps up what I have for you today. I'm opening the floor to any questions, comments, anything as well. Happy to help out as someone who has also been through the process of looking for a mentor. Yay. I'm glad y'all enjoyed, if you were able. I'm glad y'all enjoyed and tuned into today's SSARCAST. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you have any follow-up questions, all of SARC's details and contact information is on the bottom of the screen over here. So we have our website, we have our Instagram, so at UC Irvine SARC, and then we have our email, sarc@uci.edu.